3, 2, 1, let's go.
So I could not do just bananas and oatmeal and walnuts again. So us girls, we stopped at Target because we knew they had organic berries, which there's a Walmart here too. We could have went there, but we wanted to get some other things. So we got some organic berries and then we went down to breakfast, and this was a good idea because today they were out of bananas. I know, out of bananas. That is just tragic. So we're doing berries.
Is that American?
So I'm going to weigh my stuff here once she's done. I could not do just eggs and stuff, so I'm gonna weigh that later, but I got this Chobani. That's only 3. I think I'll do the other 3 in my yogurt and have that separately.
Oh my gosh, we get a lot more. That's great.
This morning, and we were just talking about, and it just really wowed me. I was thinking to myself that, and I even said this to her, it was so fun, that if we wouldn't have been overweight and then listened to God to lose the weight, because Mom, she was just like, God spoke to her one day and said, go on your cell phone. So she went on Facebook and she found this way of eating. And then we all just dove into it with her. And if we wouldn't have been overweight and then lost the weight, we would have never met all these amazing new friends. We wouldn't have. And then I think to myself that when God told us this, to do this, to change our way of eating, to stick with it, if we wouldn't have been brave enough to jump into God's plan, we wouldn't have gotten all this blessing. I think to myself, all the things that we've gone through that have been amazing that I would have never done if we wouldn't have been eating this way. I would have never written cookbooks. I would have never met all of you. We would have never been on this food adventure starting this with you guys. So sometimes you have to do the scary, jump into the thing. We didn't know the plan that God had. I didn't know I would write cookbooks. I didn't know that this would be as fun as it would be and as easy as it would be. And as delicious as it would be, we would have never done that. But we've obeyed God in other things, so we did it with this too. So if you will do the scary, obey God, God's blessing is always better every single time. Every time.
Well, the Bible says if you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. A lot of people like the one part, but then the other part they don't. You think that you're willing and obedient, but really what it is a surrender. The Bible talks a lot about submitting to God, submitting to one another. Submitting is not when everything's going great and it's fun and you're enjoying it and it's your favorite part. Submitting is when the hard part comes. It's inconvenient. It is a sacrifice. You don't want to do it and you submit. Now, submitting also is willing and obedient. So you can have, it's like the story about the little boy who was told to pick up his room or pick up his toys, and he says, no, I'm not going to do that. And so he gets put in the corner as discipline, and he says, well, on the outside I'm standing up, and on the inside I'm sitting down, or something like that. You don't do it with your heart, and you're just getting by. Have you ever worked with people and they're always just the get by? What is the least I can do and not get in trouble? We homeschooled. I was the least likely person to homeschool. My husband is a born teacher. It's just his call of God on his life. He is just a teacher. For me, I was a social person. So when I was in school, I did really well socially. But then academically, my parents, my dad never looked at there were 4 girls in my family, 1 boy. He never looked at any of the girls' report cards because we were girls. And the only thing that we could aspire to do is be a secretary or a nurse. And so he never looked at our report card, and so it didn't matter. Well, if it didn't matter to him, it didn't matter to me. And I was kind of a social sloughed off. So when it was time to homeschool, my family could not believe it, that we were going to homeschool. But I had to seek God every single night. When you seek God, though, there's a surrender, because you're not always going to hear what you want to hear. Otherwise, you're leading God. You want God to submit to you. So my son John, he was so cute, but he did not like to write. He never colored. He never wrote. So when it was time to write sentences, write down a paragraph, he would say, "What's the smallest sentence I can write, Mom? What's the least amount of words that I can write?" And he did not. I had to go to Kmart and get these little school, kind of before school books. And he had to trace mazes and do fun little road things and stuff so that he would write. He would use the pencil. Sometimes that's what God does for us. He's like, this isn't going to be that hard. You are going to enjoy this, but it's going to look like work at first.
Yeah.
But when you submit and you do it His way, it's always wonderful. It's always wonderful. Look back on the things you've gone through. Aren't you glad that you went through those things? Look at, they made you where you are right now. And I'm so thankful that my girls and I, it looks like it's been so easy for us. It hasn't been really easy. We've had trying times. We've had oops and mistakes and setbacks and messes, and we've gone on each other. We've gotten mad at each other. We don't show all of that. But when it comes right down to it, we always come back to willing and obedient. Willing and obedient. And it's not a feeling. It's not the stars and the sun comes out and we're all just, oh, isn't this wonderful, suffer together. No, willing and obedient is a decision.
It is.
You just decide. You make a decision that you are not going to turn back from. And when you make that decision in front of somebody else, there's an accountability. Well, you can do that with God. You can make that decision with Him. Lord, I surrender. Maybe you have to do it each day. Maybe you have to do it each meal. Maybe you have to do it each night. Just do it. Just make the decision. Don't wait till you feel like it. Don't wait until the goosebumps and the, oh, this is just the most amazing fun thing. Don't wait for that. Don't be led by that. Be led by your heart. Make the decision. You won't regret it. Both are hard. Pick your heart.
It's hard to do it at the beginning because there's nothing to look back on to be like, wow, I went through all of this and all this came out of it. It's hard to look at that at the beginning. That's why I think the beginning can be the hardest.
Yeah.
Kelly said it perfectly. When it was in the stage that we were eating, it was a couple months in, almost a year, and we still looked fat and we still felt fat, but we were still eating this way and it just felt silly. Like there was no, oh, I look good now, so see, this does work. It was the in-between part.
Greatest quote, like one of them was that 99%, giving 99% is hard. Giving 100% is easy. And if you're on the fence, that's horrible because you're detoxing all the time. You're having those cravings, you're having that inward whispering chatter that never quits because you're just in this cycle. You're in the guilt cycle constantly, but when you surrender completely, you're free from all of that. And you can, at the end of the day, think, okay, I gave it my absolute best. We saw one gal yesterday, she was so cute. We were at a thrift store and she's like, you girls must thrift a lot. We're like, oh yeah. And she was so nice. And she was actually, she was young. She was probably at the weight that we were when we first started. And she talked about shopping and things like that. And I just thought, man, you could be free. You could just tell, that what we had and what you can still have today, even if whatever weight you are, you can still have that degrading, oh, I still look horrible, things like that. if you're on the other side of it, you know, never forget what it felt like. Never forget what it used to be like to be that weight and to have that constant, what's going to give me the fix? What's going to give me the fix? What can I get that's going to hit the spot? Because you can't find anything. Nothing does, except for giving it 100% and having that peace. And you know, when you come across people, you just want to shout it out to the world. You can be free. This is what we went through. And this is what it used to be like. And I understand you fully. And I'm not judging you, of course, but, you know, you just know the freedom. And that could be the way it is with God, too. What if someone had the cure for cancer? What if someone had the cure for anything? I mean, we have it. It's the Bible. Don't give it 99% anymore. Just give it 100%. Dive in all the way. No turning back. And just take one day at a time.
And like Mom said, not every day does it feel like, oh, I want to sit there, put my scale, weigh all my food, only eat this amount, not snack in between. There's days where I go through cycles that I'm hungry. Right before we went on this girls trip, I went through a couple days where I was hungry like all day. Nothing hit the spot. But I thought, that's okay. Hunger is not an emergency.
Nobody died from it.
Nobody died between lunch and dinner. I tell myself that a lot. And that hunger can be your cute little friend. Your annoying cute little friend sometimes. But I thought, this isn't like hunger. My stomach did growl a couple times, but I think it was hunger. You just keep going. I just kept trusting God that it was going to be okay. I was going to eat soon. That this will go away. This hunger feeling will go away. And like Mom said, when you're just willing and obedient, and it has to be both. You gotta be willing. You gotta be like, this is fun. This is good for me. I like this. Even if you don't feel like it, you could tell yourself, I like this. And it will, because you're only one thought away from a good day. You change your thought, you change your actions, you change what you say, and it changes your day. So true every single time. And it's exciting. This way of eating, it's exciting. No sugar, no flour, it's still delicious. And God is with us every step of the way. So jump in, do the scary, do the thing God's telling you to do, and on the other side, you will be so happy you did it. To the Goss Opera House. They have a restaurant in there, which was really fun. I looked up the menu online and they had some really good salads. But when we got in there, we were pleasantly surprised that they had a bunch of other really delicious things. So I got this Tuscan chicken and it came with 2 chicken breasts. So I thought to myself, oh my gosh, one is just perfect for lunch. So then I'm saving my other one for dinner, and I'll show you what we did for dinner. It was really fun. It was like a treasure hunt for dinner today. We're not going to go out. We brought it back to our room, and we're going to have it here because we have Bible study tonight online, which is really fun. And then when we got our dinner stuff, they had a Caribou coffee. So Kelly got a drink, and it was happy hour. So you could get like this large drink. So show them your tea, Kel. And then she put raspberries in it for her lunch fruit.
I saved some of my fruit. Yeah.
Yes. And then they had a mango unsweetened tea, and Mom got a mango unsweetened tea. Tell them what you thought of your mango.
I didn't like it.
It doesn't have that like...
Very green tea-ish, but you like green tea. But
I do like green tea, but we had Mediterranean chicken, and it had basil pesto, and it had the seasonings were so amazing.
It had this special homemade slaw and
And we didn't have the bread; we didn't even miss it.
feta cheese.
Then we had a side garden salad, and then they had homemade ranch dressing, which was amazing. And then these guys had broccoli. It was
really
easy. It was easy.
And
to
it was,
get.
you can look at the menu and like even the burgers, because theirs was a sandwich. It was like a Mediterranean chicken sandwich. And like they said, they got it without the bun. And it's better, because to me, the bun is like a filler and it takes away the flavor. But without the bun, you get all the good stuff. And they put it on this cute little leaf of lettuce. It was really,
And the chicken was like grilled.
oh, that chicken
And it was like smoked. It was really good.
And mine had this artichoke dip on top of the chicken. So I'm gonna do that as my fat and protein for dinner, and it was my fat and protein for lunch. So it was really
easy.
fun.
Yeah.
And how easy. So we'll show you dinner later. We're just gonna actually sit and chill for a little bit. First time this whole vacation, but it's been an adventure, and taking
has
you
been
along
fun.
with has been such a joy having you
Yeah.
come with.
I think this is our first vacation where we ate all of our meals out. Our
Even
first one.
breakfast.
I think last year you made all the breakfasts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this was really adventurous for us.
It was.
Yeah. It was really good.
So fun. So we'll show you dinner later. We went on a grocery store adventure. They had this container of just romaine lettuce, and it was on sale for $1.99, and it was 5 ounces, which is perfect. Then for my dressing, they had some hot salsa for me. The girls got some other things, and that was on sale, so I got that too for my dressing. Then I got some carrot chips, and so they had like a deli thing, and they had pickled beets, so I got pickled beets. Then I have my chicken left over from lunch because it was 2 huge chicken breasts, so I have that left over. And then they had some jalapeno coleslaw, so I got some of that too as part of my vegetables to finish it off. So I think this is a beautiful, complete meal, and it was pretty cheap. So grocery stores with delis are a great place to get a good meal. The girls got some avocados and some lettuce things too. Kelly found some chicken there. And then Mom, I don't know, Mom, what did you get for your protein?
I got
Oh, she got this like crab meat thing. That looked really good. It was in their deli thing. And the lady was so nice. She was telling us exactly what was in the things. And yeah, she was even like, oh, do you want some samples? That was so nice of her. So definitely go to a grocery store. This was the Hy-Vee grocery store. We don't have one close to us, but it might be just like a South Dakota thing. I'm not exactly sure. If you have a Hy-Vee around you, that's a great place to get a good, delicious meal at.
They usually have a big buffet.
Yeah, they usually have a buffet, but because of COVID, they have it closed down. But it's like a buffet. You make your huge salad, and then they weigh it at the checkout, and then you just pay for what you get. So that's kind of fun. Hopefully, they'll be getting that back soon. But I'm excited to dig in. I'm going to dig in before this gets cold.